So dear students, this is the second part of manures and fertilizer. Part 1 where we have discussed organic and inorganic fertilizers. So in the second part we'll be learning a little about soil, and these are the new concepts for you. So I'll be going slow here. Two terms you can see on the screen here. Those are soil fertility and productivity. Though the terms seem to be same, but these are different in meaning, what they actually mean. So soil fertility, it is the inherent capacity of the soil to supply plant nutrients in adequate quantity and in suitable proportion. That is called as soil fertility. So here, other than the fertilizers, which are the external sources, soil itself will have some ability to supply nutrients, because rocks will be broken down into smaller pieces and that will turn to minerals, and minerals will give the nutrient to the soil. So that inherent capacity, inherent means which has been transformed from the parent to the daughter, right? So similarly, soil will also have that inherent capacity. That means which is by its own, by default, you can say. So that is the capacity of soil to supply, or you can say that soil fertility is nothing but the nutrient status of the soil. So that talks about the soil fertility. These nutrients which are present in the soil are to be supplied to the plants in adequate quantities. Neither should be more nor should be less, otherwise definitely the plant will be affected, and in suitable proportion. Like what is the proportion to be followed? So that depends according to the crop and depends according to the soil as well. So that is soil fertility. Fertility means, just remember that is the nutrient status of the soil or the capacity of the soil to supply those nutrients. And the next term, that is soil productivity, which refers to the capacity of a soil to produce crop. Okay, so fertility, as I told you, it talks about the nutrient status. Productivity means it is the capacity of the soil to produce crop. Okay, so the next sentence you can see here, a productive soil must be fertile, but a fertile soil may not be productive. So what does that mean here? A productive soil, productivity means it is the capacity of the soil to produce crop. So when a particular soil is suitable to produce a particular crop, means obviously it must be fertile. Fertile means it has to supply nutrients to the plant, to the plant, right? So without the proper nutrient status of the soil cannot be productive. Without nutrient, plant cannot survive, right? That is why a productive soil must be fertile, but a fertile soil may not be productive. That means a soil which has the capacity to supply all the nutrients, but it may not be suitable to produce a crop. Why? It can be because of any other problems like salinity or alkalinity or waterlogging, or it can be any other thing other than the nutrient status of the soil. The soil can supply all the nutrients required, but it cannot produce crops because of some other reasons, just like what I mentioned. That is why a productive soil means when all other reasons are really perfect, and then only the crop can survive, isn't it? It can be nutrient, it can be water, it can be pH, it can be electrical conductivity of the soil, it can be any property of the soil. When all these properties are perfect, then obviously the soil will be fertile, right? When all the factors like what I mentioned, when all these are really perfect, obviously it has the capacity to provide nutrients as well. But in case of fertile soil, that means it can only supply nutrient. Other than the nutrient supply, it cannot do anything, because it has some other problems like salinity, waterlogging, alkalinity, or it can be calcareous soil, it can be anything, right? So that is why a productive soil must be fertile, because all factors are perfect, but a fertile soil may not be productive because it can only supply nutrient, whereas other conditions remain changed. So now let's learn the proper differences between the fertility and productivity. As I told you, fertility, it is considered as an index of available nutrients to the plant. That means it is the capacity of the soil to supply nutrients alone. Whereas productivity, it is a broader term used to indicate yield of the crop. A particular soil which has a proper amount of NPK, all other nutrients, then it can supply only nutrients. But a productive soil, it is a broader term which indicates the yield of the crop. If at all particular crop, if we are getting 2 tons per hectare, if it is really productive soil, then we can harvest it 3 tons per hectare there. Then we call it as a productive soil and not fertile soil. Okay. And the second point in fertility, it is one of the factors for crop production. The other factors are water supply, slope of the land, depth of the water table. So it can be any other factor. It is fertility means a nutrient status which is just the one factor among all other factors. Okay. Whereas productivity, it is the interaction of all the factors that determine the magnitude of the yield. When all these factors are really good, then we can call it as a good productive soil. Okay. Third one is this fertility or the nutrient status, it can be analyzed in the laboratory. But in productivity, it can be assessed in the field under particular climatic condition. We cannot expect the soil to take to the laboratory and check how much yield we are getting. No, we cannot do that for productivity. We can only access that in the field, that too under particular climatic condition. Okay. And fertility, it is potential nutrient status of the soil, whereas productivity, it is the resultant of various soil factors influencing soil management to produce crop. So productivity is the combination of different factors for the yield of the crop, whereas soil fertility is one of just factors which gives this productivity. So usually the formula is given like say productivity is x into y into z into, it can be any number of factors. So here P is for productivity, whereas x can be one of the factors, that is fertility, y can be water supply, z can be climatic condition. So different factors which will be affecting the production, and fertility is one of such factors, whereas productivity is the production or the interaction of all these factors which will be affecting the yield of the crop. I hope you are understanding this. If not, let me know. Now, how can we maintain the soil fertility? As I told you, soil fertility is the nutrient status of the soil. So how can we maintain them? So first practice are cultural practices. Cultural practices where we can follow fallowing. Fallowing means leaving the land empty. Okay, empty land, fallowing. So when we leave the land as such without cultivation, the nutrient status of the soil will be enhanced because there won't be any crop in the field to take up that nutrient. Next, crop rotation. If continuous cycle of cereal or whatever may be the crops we are growing, if continuously we are growing the same crop, then obviously it will take more nutrient from the soil. So when we go for crop rotation, that means changing of the crop from one season to another season, what happens? Then with the change of crop, also it helps in the nutrient updation also. Okay. And third one is the mixed cropping, like mixing of different crops which can help to improve the fertility of the soil. Okay. And second practice is the fertility status can be increased by addition of organic manures, okay, which we have already learned in the last part. It can be bulky or concentrated, and inorganic fertilizers we can apply, or biofertilizers we can apply, or soil amendments to improve we can apply, and weedicides or fungicides we can apply, which adds copper to the soil, and triazines. These are the herbicide group which add nitrogen to the soil. Okay, green manures or green leaf manuring, which also add nitrogen to the soil. Crop residues and plant stock, these also add some nutrient to the soil. So by this we can enhance the fertility or the nutrient status of the soil. And now the nutrients which are present in the soil already, these can be lost from the soil in many different ways. first loss, it is removed by the crop. It will be definitely removed by the crop. So this is just an example, like what which crop take up more nutrient and all. Okay, second one is removal by the weeds. Just like crops, weeds also take up nutrient from the soil, but weeds take up like 400 times more nutrients than the crop. Third one is the leaching losses. Leaching loss is the downward movement of the water along with the nutrient. Okay, this is water, this is nutrient. So the combination of water and nutrient which is going to the deeper layers of the soil, that is leaching. Okay, and lost through erosion, maybe wind erosion or water erosion, and loss in gaseous form, mainly for nitrogen, that can be by denitrification or volatilization. I'll explain you in the further slides what these terms mean. So to understand how the losses or how the gain of the nitrogen happens, we have to learn the nitrogen cycle there. So as we know that atmospheric nitrogen is about 78%. Okay, not the entire 78% can be utilized by the plants, because atmospheric nitrogen is present as a molecular nitrogen, that is N2. It has to be converted to some ammonical form or nitrate form so that it can be made available to the farm. So what happens, this atmospheric nitrogen, it has to be fixed to the soil, that is by symbiotic fixation by these legume crops. So in legume crop, what happens on the roots, you must have seen something like this, root nodules, right? These root nodules, in the root nodules this rhizobium bacteria will be sitting. So this rhizobium bacteria, what it does is it converts the atmospheric nitrogen, okay, that N2 will be converted to ammonical form. How it does this plant, legumes usually have something called as leg hemoglobin, and which helps in converting this nitrogen. I will not go much deeper into the process of fixation here. Just remember that the root nodules, in that rhizobium bacteria will be there, and that will help in fixing this atmospheric nitrogen. Okay, so after fixing that nitrogen, where it is done, these plants will be harvested, and that harvested plants become the soil organic matter. After its death, after the death of the plant, it becomes organic matter. Okay, so what happens, this organic matter, it is converted to ammonium. How it is converted? By the process called as ammonification. So ammonification, how it happens, this organic nitrogen will be converted to inorganic nitrogen. Okay, that is ammonification. And this ammonium, it can also be taken by the plants, or it will be converted to nitrate nitrogen, that is called as nitrification. Okay, from soil organic matter, ammonification, that is the formation of ammonium, and from ammonium it will get converted to nitrate, that is nitrification. So as we know that plants take up nitrogen either in the form of nitrate or in the form of ammonium. So when this nitrate is present, this nitrate is subjected to many different losses, like nitrogen leaching. Leaching, as I told you, that is the movement of nitrogen along with the water, or it will go back to the soil organic matter. That process is called as immobilization, and this immobilization will be taken up by the microorganisms which are present in the soil. Okay, also this nitrate is lost as gaseous nitrogen to the atmosphere, which is called as denitrification. Okay, either or, this nitrate can also be taken up by the plant, right? This plant is also takes up nitrogen. Okay, so this part of cycle is clear. Here you can see fertilizers which we have. So what happens, this fertilizer, the nitrogen will also be in the form of ammonium. Okay, this ammonium can be lost as a gaseous ammonia to the atmosphere, which is called as volatilization. Okay, Likewise, the manure, animal manure, that also contains nitrogen in the form of ammonia, which can be lost. Okay, so this cycle goes on and on. It continuously goes like this. Okay, so here I have written mineralization. It is the conversion of organic form of nitrogen to either nitrate and ammonium by the microorganisms. That is mineralization. And next is nitrification. It is the oxidation of ammonium to nitrate. Okay, here you can see this nitrate, nitrification. Okay, here. So next, denitrification, as I told you, it is the loss. It is the loss where nitrate will be converted to nitrogen, gaseous nitrogen, either as a molecular nitrogen or as an oxide of nitrogen under anaerobic condition. Also, one more loss, that is volatilization, where it is conversion of ammonium to ammonical form of nitrogen to ammonial gas. So this occurs in alkaline condition. Okay, and immobilization, it is the utilization of ammonium and nitrate by the microorganism. And last loss is the leaching. So here I have given the definitions. You can come back with the doubts if you don't understand these. So denitrification, that is the loss of nitrogen, gaseous loss to the atmosphere. So this nitrate which is present in the soil, that will go with several processes, and this will go as a gas to the atmosphere. Volatilization is also a gaseous loss, but in the form of ammonia. Similarly, it goes for the phosphorus also. So here you can see, like, it's a quite clumsy type of chart. Only thing is, you just understand, just like nitrogen, it also has mineralization, and then it has ammonification, nitrification. Just like that, this phosphorus will also go through different processes. Okay, but do not worry much about the phosphorus cycle. If you understand nitrogen cycle, that will be enough, and the words are almost the same, and any word if you don't understand, you can come back with a doubt. Okay, so with this I am ending this manures and fertilizer chapter. If you have any doubts, come back, let's have a discussion. Thank you.